Alright, here's a quick video on feeding snakes. Not sure if people want to see this or not, but this is basically the process. Here I've got a pitcher full of warm tap water, with a plastic baggie with a mouse inside of it, so it stays fairly dry. I feed my snakes dry mice. They seem to like it better. So what we have to do now that the mouse is warm enough is we remove it from the bag. It's going to be difficult to do one-handed because I don't want to touch the mousey at all. Grab them and pull them out of there. Alright. Got a mouse with tongs. Very easy to hold on to. Nice and warm. Go over to a snake tank. It's a little dark. I apologize for that. Oh yeah, it's very dark. And just offer him a mouse. There you see, he grabs it. I'll play with it for a while and chew on it, wind it all up. And it's just that simple. This is my milk snake from Sinaloan, Mexico. Once again, I apologize for the darkness, but the light in this tank is burnt out, and he seems to prefer the darkness anyways. There's the big little fella. It's probably close to about 4 feet long. So that's about it. You buy the mice frozen in a plastic bag. You warm them up to warmer. I prefer warmer than room temperature. Some people say room temperature. I think warmer makes it more natural as a prey item for the snakes. And you just make sure that they get it. You can just lay it down somewhere and hope that they find it. But I prefer to make sure that they eat it because you don't want a dead mouse laying around in your house for, any given amount of time. I would zoom in on this, but yeah, the zoom on this thing is just terrible. It's a very old digital camera, and it pixelates quite horribly. So I'm not sure if you got a good view of the size of the mouse to the snake's head, but it was considerably larger. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take him to put this sucker down. I think the snake's a girl. I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure it's a female. And contrary to what a lot of other people believe, I only feed this snake once a month. There are people who say you should feed them at least every 2 weeks or every week, but I've been feeding this snake once a month for 11 years, and it is not skinny, it's not undernourished, it's full of energy, it does everything that it does, but because it is a ground-dwelling, cooler temperature snake, it just doesn't move very often, and therefore really doesn't need to eat as often. I could probably feed it smaller meals more often, but it's happy with one mouse a month, and it's never complained, and yeah, that's just the way it works. A mouse is a little bit on the large side for the snake to eat, I will admit, but it always manages to get him down. There's no injuries or anything like that, no dislocated jaws that aren't supposed to happen. And that's pretty much the gist of it. There's a water dish in here, so it's got plenty of water. There's heat on the one side. There's a couple of places to hide. So it's got this comfort. Yeah, there's not much else to say about it. Milk snake from Sinaloa, Mexico. I don't know the scientific name offhand, otherwise I would tell it to you. And once again, I don't know if you can tell by looking at the tiny video, but oh yeah, this is going to take a little bit of time. Not sure what else to tell you that's exciting. They prefer lower temperatures, like I said, between like 70 and 85 at the highest. So they're good Midwestern snakes to own because they don't require really high humidity, they don't require really high temperature, or any really exotic climate that you have to try to manufacture in the house. They stay fairly small. I mean, they don't get big enough to be a threat. They are very quick, but they do tame down pretty quickly, and then they seem fairly comfortable and don't try to get away all the time. And yeah, I feed them one mouse a month, which I believe costs about $1.60 or something like that. So definitely an affordable pet. They can go longer without eating, without any serious problems, possibly. Yeah, it's 3 months might be stretching it before they really start losing weight, which wouldn't be a good thing, but yeah, I mean, if you need to go on vacation, as long as there's plenty of water and it's been fed within the past few weeks, yeah, there's no issue. You could easily leave for 14 days and come back and have a perfectly happy snake waiting for you when you get back. Looks like he's about half done at the moment. Once again, apologies for the darkness. And once he's got the snake down, I'll close up the lid. Sorry about that. Best not to handle a snake for about 2 days after you feed them, because there's a chance they could get a little distressed and regurgitate on you, which is not a good thing. And after about 2 days, they've generally digested to the point where that's not going to happen. Especially with the colubrids that I've got, such as, Jenkins in the other room is a colubrid, and he's got such a high metabolism. After 2 days, he's actually already hungry, and you can't even tell he's eaten. But different snakes, different things. So yeah, it's general rule of thumb, wait about 2 days, then you can take them out and handle them again, give them their enrichment, whatever you do, carry them around, try to teach them not to bite yourself. If you want to teach them to bite other people, I mean, you could try. I don't know how easy that is. And we're at the 6-minute mark, and this mouse is just about done. You can see how stretched out the neck is on this little fella, or lady. Hopefully some of this shows up in somewhat detail. I'm not sure how I can get better lighting without actually, putting a light in, which is what I need to rewire at some point, because this light is not cost effective. These are fancy fluorescents in this tank that cost almost $40 a piece, and I'm going to switch over to LED because that's obviously a lot cheaper in multiple respects. And we're down to the hind legs. Munch. The neck is probably stretched out to about twice its original size. And once again, this snake is a very, very prolific eater. Jenkins, on the other hand, I cannot be in the same room with most of the time when he's eating. He's very picky, he's very shy, he's just nervous about lots of things. I'm not sure how much of that is ever going to go away in the future, so we'll just accept it for what it is and keep working and hope for the best. And the legs are almost gone. The other thing about feeding snakes is they tend to kind of get in a food mode, more or less, where once they've eaten, they keep looking for food for, depending on the species, maybe like 20-30 minutes. So it's best not to reach around to there after they've eaten, because they'll be looking for food. They'll have recently smelled food, and they might accidentally bite you, not because they're angry, but because they think that you're food and they're going to try to eat you. Usually they'll let go. Sometimes they don't, because, they're still really hungry. And this one in particular, after he's done eating, down to the tail. You can get that in. That's no problem for you. Anyways, after this one usually finishes eating, it'll take a drink for a while, because once again, I've noticed that some of the snakes that I've had in the past don't enjoy eating wet mice. Some of them don't mind it, but this one in particular doesn't seem to really like soggy food, so he's got to eat his meal first and then take a drink. Let's see if we can go down this way and not startle him any. Oops. And there it is, just a little bit of tail hanging out. He's still working it down. Sorry. I'm not positive. I'm sure there's people who, whatever. I don't know. And he's done eating, and now he thinks that the camera might be something tasty, so he's trying to come over here. No, you can't eat the camera. This is just a camera. You can't eat the camera. No, don't eat the camera. Alright, now he's looking at me, wondering if he can eat me behind the camera. No, you can't eat me behind the camera. So it's again, definitely in food mode right now, just looking for something to eat. You can't see it, but he's actually going around all the corners of the camera trying to see if it's big enough or small enough to fit into its mouth. No, there's nothing for you. I was hoping to leave this going long enough to see if you could watch him drink, but he's actually, whatever it is, very interested in just eating at this point. So I'm going to have to put the lid back on. So say goodbye to everybody. I don't see where you are. Say goodbye. No, don't come up. Say goodbye. Lid goes on. And there it is. Happy fed snake, doesn't need to eat for another month. Life is good. Come on, come get a drink. Nope, more interested in looking around, trying to find some food, trying to get out of the tap. Alright, well there you have it. That's snake feeding. This one is an easy snake to feed. It took me all of 11 minutes from start to finish. Not counting the water temperature thing. Hope you enjoyed this video. And there we go. A nice big drink after dinner, just like I said. It's the nice thing when you learn your snakes, they do become very predictable. You learn their patterns and their habits, some of the stuff about their personality, and it's pretty cool. And keep drinking, I know you're not done yet. The Viper Keeper channel, that snake keeper actually teaches his snakes to drink out of a water bottle, which I am going to try to do at some point, but I'm not sure exactly when to start that. So you can also see a little bit of jaw stretching because he has to reset the jaws and get them hinged back into the correct position, because they do stretch out quite a bit when they eat. Alright, he'll probably have a couple more drinks. Oh, there's some stretching. But he's still more interested in eating than performing, so I'm just going to let him get back to relaxing because I've got more snakes to feed. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video, and there will be more to come, I'm sure.